So we're here at the CCA workbench. Time for the rigs and techniques. Guess what, guys? We're talking about two of our favorite species. I mean, our two favorite species.
Yeah, the permit, man. Old rubber lips.
Yeah. So, Ridge, first off, I want to start off by telling everybody at home that's watching that we're going to talk about two different scenarios, guys. We're going to be talking about fish that are on the flats, very shallow water, fly fishing, jig fishing, also fishing with live bait. And then we're going to talk about fishing structure, whether it's on a deep reef in the Atlantic or something in the Gulf. So let's start off first by sight fishing them on the flats, Ridge.
You know, sight fishing for them, the easiest way to catch a permit, they cannot say no to a crab. It's the most overrated fish when it comes to it. And the key is you just got to hit them in the face.
Yeah.
They don't know how to say no. And what you want to do is you're going to take the corner of the crab and just slowly kind of work it through, kind of guide it through, and then just wiggle the hook, and it pinches right out, just like that.
So that's an eagle claw.
It's a
L702G, and it comes in 5 O's, 3 O's, 4 O's, a variety of different sizes. Let me have that, please, Bob.
You'll hear it in my report a lot, too. We talk about matching the hook size to the actual or the bait. And so on a bigger crab like this, you would use closer to a 5-0. You can use a 3-0. And so you really just want to match that hook size to your actual bait itself. So
yeah, that's exactly right. Now, where do we make a mistake, Ridge, on these permit on the flats?
Over leading them. A lot of people put these fish on the flats on a pedestal. It's very intimidating. He's tailing. He's doing all this crazy cool permit things. If you hit him in the face, you don't give him the option to say no. You got to feed him or forget him. And so what a lot of people do is they lead him 15 feet or 10 feet, and he doesn't race over there. Sometimes he will with a crab, but with a fly or a jig, he gives them too much time to say no. So you really want to just be aggressive with them, take the Jack Crevalle out of them, and make him eat it.
Yeah, throw it in his face, because he's got to make a decision. Is he going to eat it, or is he going to allow it to get into the bottom into the grass?
Yep.
All right, so Ridge, you know, now, if we're fishing inshore, what rod and reel are we going to use
This
there?
is a Finwick, a world-class, medium-fast, 7'6" spinner.
Right.
Paired with the 4000 Authority, and you hear me talk about this in my reports a lot. It's a great rod, all-round rod for sight fishing. It has a super, super light tip, but enough backbone to where, okay, we can pull on these fish and get them away from the sharks, because the sharks are bad.
Yeah, 7.6, and then we're loading it up with what size Pro-Spec chrome?
15-pound Pro-Spec chrome and a 25-pound to 30-pound leader.
All right, now, if we are fishing off of one of the reefs in Isla Morada, so to speak.
Yep. Even
it's
the
140 feet deep.
Mm-hmm. A lot of guys are using anywhere from ½ ounce all the way to 1.5 ounces sometimes. You want to sink it down, throw it out in front of them, let it sink down to them, and you just want to kind of feed it like you would yellowtail fishing. All of a sudden, it's going to change its pace. That's when he eats it. You close the bail, start reeling your slack, boom, you're on.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, guys, here's what's going to happen. You're going to pull up there, you're going to put your Rodan in, you're going to be up current of the structure, or you're going to anchor, whichever it is. They rise into your chum, and they do a drive-by shooting. This is not when you can sight cast to them. Most of the time, you've got to actually throw the crab, let it get in that chum.
Sometimes you'll even mark them on your sonar. You can just sink it down to them.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot.
So I want to ask you, Ridge, there's something little trick that you did here. If we look real close, you see that there's a black rubber band that's going around this crab's carapace.
Yeah.
What is that?
So when your crabs start getting the eggs, you try to find the crabs that don't have the eggs. You try to pick all the males out, but there are times where you can't get them, and this will start flapping open. If you keep this shut, and all you got to do is just put the rubber band around it. If you keep it shut, the lifespan of that crab's going to be a lot longer. You can make a lot more casts with him.
Yeah, and it casts a lot better without that flap. That flap is not aerodynamic.
Absolutely.
Okay, one other thing that we like to do is I want to point out to people, when you guys go to buy a jig for this particular application, you can see the difference. This has no barb. So what'll happen is if you're fishing with a shrimp, throwing a permit, or even a crab, a lot of times the weight of the jig will punch through the carapace and he falls off.
Yep. That's a great soft plastic jig head, but not a good bait fishing jig.
So when you do go to buy your jigs, guys, make sure you get one with a permasteel type of hook with a big barb. Look at how big this barb is in reference to the little jig head itself. Keep that in mind, and remember, guys, anytime that you're permit fishing up shallow, fly or jig or crab, be aggressive, throw it in his face, and then don't move it. Let it dive, and he'll commit.
Eats it on the fall.
Man, you did a good job over here.
Trying.
And don't forget the little lap band trick. Love
That's
that
right.
one.